listeners. This is your host, your favorite food addict, Crazy Keto, Amy Davis. Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's Sunday Night Live. As always, I have to do my disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. Any information provided in this forum is not to be used as medical advice, diagnosis, advice, treatment, or services to you or any other person. Any information provided in this forum does not replace being seen by a physician. If you have a medical condition, please seek medical advice from a physician. Edward's in the house. Welcome, Edward. Please consult with a physician before changing your diet. Also, just so you know, the recipes in this live are not always my own. I'm merely showing all of you how to live this lifestyle by demonstrating the leading experts in the field's recipes. I will always credit when posting the recipe who the author of the recipe is. If I authored the recipe, I will let you know. Mary Ann is in the house. Welcome, Mary Ann. Also, if you feel comfortable, feel free to post in the comments which city and state you are watching from. And if you're watching it live, type live. If you're watching it via replay, type replay. That way, if you have questions, I know to answer the questions now, or when the questions come in tomorrow, I know to answer the questions on the replay. Can everybody hear me? Is the audio working? It looks like the audio is working. Today's recipe is by Maria Emmerich. It's not my recipe. And we are going to do protein noodle pizza lasagna. Last week we did carnivore breakfast lasagna, which if you didn't see that, you can go back and watch the replay. Just so you know, I already have one in the oven. The timer is going to go off here in just a minute. And I have to take the foil off of it so that we don't waste any time and I can show you what it looks like. So when that timer goes off, don't be alarmed. And we're going to I made half the recipe, so half the recipe's already in the oven. And I'm going to show you how to make the other half of the recipe. So this should be exciting live. I already did her, hey Liz, Liz is in the house. I've already done her regular lasagna. I've done the enchilada lasagna. I've now done the breakfast lasagna. And now we're going to kick it up a notch. And we're going to do pizza lasagna. So I'm really excited about this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know my timer is going to go off here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and point my camera down just a little bit so you can see what's going on. So I did a couple of things today. I made my marinara sauce ahead of time, and I'll post this as part of the recipe too. You can use jar sauce, but make sure you get a low sugar jar sauce like Rouse or some other low sugar sauce. But honestly, I find those to be really expensive. And I just came up with my own recipe that takes like 5 minutes to make. So I went ahead and made this. And I did fry up some hamburger and made it a meat sauce and added that. And the other thing I did is, the first time I made a regular lasagna, I called for sausage. And I accidentally bought Italian sausage links instead of ground sausage. And honestly, I love it. So I just made this as part of my meat. And so I put the sausage links in the air fryer, and then I chopped them into little, like, they look like little hamburger patties. So I'm going to put that in my recipe too. And then the other thing I did was I just chopped up some toppings. And really there's no rules to this. You can make whatever toppings you want. I chopped up some mushroom, some onions, I have green pepper, I have pepperoni, and I have Kevin's favorite, sliced black olives. I also have some ricotta cheese here and some mozzarella cheese. Now I normally use sliced provolone for this, but I didn't feel like buying any because I already had some shredded mozzarella cheese. So instead of using the slices this time, I'm going to use just some shredded mozzarella will be fine. The other thing that we need is some sort of deli meat. This is going to be our noodles. Now I had some of this ham left over from last week's live. Normally I use turkey or chicken, but because I had this left over from last week's live, I am going to use the sliced ham. which will work just fine too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some of our sauce that we have here, and we're going to layer this in the bottom of our pan. So we start with our sauce, with our meat sauce. Okay, and really this is supposed to have the sausage in it. So after I do the meat sauce, I always put a row of my little sausage patties. But if you use the sausage in your meat sauce, you don't have to do what I'm doing. Now the other thing, I'm using really little pans. So this is gonna kind of overstuff. So when I put this in the oven, I put a cookie sheet underneath it in case it boils over. So then I'm just gonna layer my little sausages on top of this, my little sausage patties. Hopefully you can all see this. And I use these every single time. And honestly, this works better if you're using a full-size lasagna pan. Honestly, I'm using 2 tiny little half pans. And I just feel like I can't get all the ingredients in here that I want, but that's okay. Okay, so the next thing it says, well, the next thing we definitely want to do is probably mix up our ricotta cheese and egg mixture. So I already used half of this. When you do it, you're going to use the whole thing, because I mixed this earlier, but I'm going to show you what to do. So I have half of this left, and I'm just going to put this in a bowl. But you'll do the whole thing, or you can use cottage cheese if you don't like ricotta cheese. And then it would be a whole egg, but I used half an egg, so I'm going to use the other half an egg. And I'm just going to pour that in there too. Get this out of the way. And then I think it calls for egg and garlic powder. So how much garlic powder do I use? Half a teaspoon. So I'm going to use like 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Because like I said, I'm making just a tiny batch of this. Half a batch of this. And then we're going to just mix that together in this little bowl. Okay, so I'm just mixing this together, getting this ready. And again, you can use cottage cheese instead of ricotta, but I prefer ricotta. Oh, there's my timer. Okay, so let me take the foil off of the lasagna that's in there. I'll be right back. Okay, this is, like I said, really challenging because this is very full, and the cheese is sticking to the foil. So, perfect. We're going to bake it uncovered the rest of the way. And honestly, I'm baking it longer than it says, even because in my experience, I just know it's going to take longer. So let me set another timer for that one. And we'll come back to this recipe and check on that here in a little bit. Okay, let me set these over here. Perfect. Okay, so we were mixing the ricotta cheese, and we'll set this aside. Okay, so then it says, arrange the deli meat. And again, you can use whatever deli meat that you want. Right now I have ham. So I'm just going to place these slices in here. And again, it's not going to take very many for this pan because this is a smaller pan. So I'm just gonna put the deli meat in here. These are our protein noodles. The deli meat acts as our noodles. I think we have enough for another layer, so that's good. Okay. And then we're gonna take half of the ricotta cheese mixture and we're gonna spread this on top of that. Awesome. Okay. Now, then it says to top with mozzarella cheese. Top with your cheeses. Now I reversed when I did the second layer, I reversed the toppings and the cheese because I like the cheese last. So I'll show you this when we do the second layer. And then I also sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on here. Let me open this side. We're going to do it generously. Okay, and then we take our toppings. I'm going to start with pepperoni. Angela Marie's in the house. Welcome, Angela. We're making pizza lasagna. So we're putting our pepperonis on. Okay, we're putting pepperonis on the pizza. That was only half of one, so we'll put another one on. Okay, so we've added our pepperonis. We're gonna put some mushrooms in here, and you don't have to use the toppings I'm using. You can use whatever toppings you want. Okay, and then some onions. And then some green peppers. Now this is kind of sketchy because this thing is already full with just this layer. But we have to do a second layer. So I really need a deeper pan, but oh well. Bernadette's in the house. Welcome, Bernadette. Okay, so it says repeat layers. So it wants us to put sauce on again. Okay, so we're gonna spread some more meat sauce. Yeah, this is sketchy because this is already full. It's okay. I'll just put a cookie sheet underneath it and hope for the best. But I really need a really deep pan for this. May save that little bit for my eggs in the morning. Okay, and then sausage, Italian sausage. Right. Okay, I got one baking in the oven right now. Hopefully my house doesn't catch on fire tonight. I know when I make this for real in the big pan that I gotta get a really, really, really deep pan. Okay, just throw a couple extra in here somewhere. Okay, so there's our sausage. All right, so the next thing we gotta do deli meat. Those are our noodles. And again, you can use any deli meat you want. Oh man, this is so cool. How's this gonna go? I think this pan is even smaller than the other one. And then the rest will be ricotta cheese. And again, you can use cottage cheese. You don't have to use the ricotta. And I just spread this the best as I can because it's all going to bake in. Now, I reversed this order when I did the other one because I want my cheese on top. I just like my cheese on top. So, stick this over here. So I put my toppings on. Pepperoni, I think I did. Don't really think it matters. It's all going to the same place. And then some mushroom. Some green pepper. Some onion. What would you guys put on yours? What would you put on your pizza lasagna? Post it in the comments. And then Brandy's in the house. Welcome, Brandy. And then we're going to try to cover this in cheese, but this thing is bulging. I'm just really worried about this overflowing in the oven. But a recommendation is to put this on. I do this with my meatloafs too because those always bake over. Put this on a cookie sheet. Yeah, this is like way over the top. And then we're going to sprinkle some more Parmesan on top. What would you guys put on your pizzas? Ooh, let me get a fork or something. We've got some, there we go. Cheese clumps. Clumpy cheese. Can't have that. Okay. So this is what we got going in the oven, all right? So we got the second one going in the oven. All right, and then we're gonna do some talking while we're waiting. Okay. Oh, the other thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to tent some tin foil over it. I'm just gonna use this piece I already have. You're supposed to tent, and I would really try to tent it good, especially if it's overflowing. At least for the first 25 minutes. Just cover it. All right. So let's see what this other one's doing. And then we'll do some talking. Okay, that one's not boiling over too much, so that's good. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven and set a timer. While the other one's cooking. Oh, it looks so good. All right, so let's set the kitchen timer for 25 minutes. We'll let that one go. Let me grab a chair. All right, can everybody hear me okay? Let's see where we're at on this other one. Okay, so that's it. So really all I did was I made some marinara sauce. I fried up some hamburger. Put that in the marinara. I put some sausages in the air fryer, and I chopped up some veggies. And then we just assembled these lasagnas together. Can everybody hear me okay? You guys are being so quiet. You're not asking any questions. What questions do you all have? No questions? Hey, okay. Mom and Dad are here. Angela's here. What's on the bottom? Okay, so yeah, black olives. You put black olives on you. So you start with the marinara sauce on the bottom. That probably, I don't know what it is, the liquid in it. Oregano. Yep, there's oregano in my sauce. And I'm going to post a link to my sauce, although I don't think you can have my sauce. But you could put oregano in the sauce that you make, Angela, for sure. So, yes. So, yeah, I start with a layer of the sauce. Fennel seeds. Ooh, that would be good. Yes, for sure. Oh, okay, let's see. And Sherry's not here, but she doesn't like hamburger, so you could do like chicken, or you could put whatever you want in this, and whatever veggies that you like. And again, the only reason why I use the ham as my deli meat is because I used that for last week's live. Normally I would use chicken or turkey as a protein noodles, but I really wanted to use up what I had without going to the store. Yeah, I figured you would use your Nomato or pesto olive garlic. And you can do, you know, I really should do Maria Emmerich's, let me pull up this recipe. I'm more of a red sauce person, but you can have, let me pull it up, Angela. You could have this one for sure, because you can do the cream sauce. Alfredo lasagna. You can do, that's okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. But you can have Alfredo sauce, right? Maria Emmerich has a protein noodle Alfredo lasagna, and I think you can do Alfredo sauce. So, yes, cream sauce. I should make this one. I don't know, I'm a big fan of red sauce, so that's why I'm always making her red sauce, but I should really do the protein noodle Alfredo lasagna for you. Pesto's good too. Yeah, I like pesto. So I should do this one sometime just because it doesn't use the red sauce. This one actually uses chicken instead of beef. So, yes. Okay, so the other things I wanted to talk about in the live, these are all awesome suggestions, by the way. While we're waiting, I've been posting recently, well, a lot because we've had a lot of new people, and mostly just because, well, this is kind of bad with recent events, but I've been posting a lot lately for new people the keto guide of things you can eat. Although I'm looking through this list and I don't know if I want to read all these. You need some good recipes to take. Okay, I can go through them. I should think about good camping recipes. So I should look through some of them to think of ones you could put on like the campfire and stuff. But I'm kind of reading through this, it's called The Proper Human Diet Guidebook by Dr. Berry. But in light of recent political events, I'm kind of hesitant to read through some of the meats on the list because like for example, here's a list of partial meats you can eat as much as you want on your diet. Alligator, beef, bison jerky, clams, eggs, goat, kangaroo. Believe it or not, kangaroo in some parts of the world. I mean, this is meant for everyone. Mussels, pheasant, rabbit, salmon, shrimp, turkey, squirrel, goose. Yeah, there's stuff on here. Lamb, ostrich, pork, rattlesnake, sausage, spam, potted meat, veal, rabbit, bear, bison, chicken, duck, emu, scallops, trout, venison, crawfish, bacon. So it goes through all of the stuff, and a lot of the stuff on here is just because, you know, there are people who do game hunt and stuff like that. So they want you to know. Now, They want you to know everything that you can eat. You know, if you hunt and, you know, go to meat markets and stuff like that, they do have some of those meats there. It does say beware of the following: breaded meats, cured meats. And the reason why cured meats, honey and sugars are used in the curing meat. So will they say this for bacon and stuff because bacon is cured in sugar, but honestly it's hard to find bacon that's not cured in sugar. You have to literally sometimes order it on the internet. So good, better, best. Pick the lowest carb count cured meats and watch the ingredients. Glazes and sauces. Glazes and sauces can be packed with sugar, cornstarch, and flour, all which can mess up your diet. Processed meats. Some processed meats have starchy carb fillers added to stretch the product. Watch the carb count on these. Seasonings. I make almost all of my own seasonings because most of them have crap in them. So when you go to buy seasoning, flip that over. And of course oils, which I talk about all the time. And in this guidebook, let me flip this around. See that diagram with the red, yellow, and green? All oils in the chart highlighted in red should be avoided completely. So I'll post this again. Take a look at that chart and avoid everything in red. A partial list of acceptable veggies: alfalfa sprouts, zucchini, broccoli, celery, spinach. I've never heard of this one. Post in the comments if you've heard of Kanarani. Kanarani? Nori, radish, asparagus, collards, endive, mushrooms, okra, squash, artichoke, bok choy, cauliflower, chayote? I don't know. Escarole, mustard greens, peppers, Brussels sprouts, chard. Pumpkins. I didn't know pumpkins were accepted. Well, I guess I knew that because I think I've made a pumpkin cheesecake before. Cucumber, beet grains. The following vegetables are too starchy, and I didn't know one in here. Potato, rutabaga, peas, carrot. It says bicama, but I think it's supposed to be jicama, and I have used that one before. I have used turnips before. Beets, beans, and sweet potatoes are a no-no. Sorry. Sweet potatoes are potatoes. And he says, I know you've been raised believing that beans and taters were very healthy veggies and good for you, but in fact they're starch, which raises your blood sugar, which raises your insulin, which leads to weight gain. And they also have very little in way of meaningful nutrition. The following are a list of full-fat dairy products: feta cheese, heavy cream, whipping cream, provolone, Greek yogurt, butter, Colby Jack, blue cheese, cheddar cheese, cream cheese, Gouda, double cream, Parmesan, sour cream, brie, cottage cheese, goat cheese, clotted cream. I don't know what that is. Ooh, we'll get to fruits in just a minute. Mozzarella, ricotta, plain yogurt as long as it's full fat. Beware, watch the labels. The following list of dairy foods are a no-no. No margarine, no low-fat cottage cheese, always get full fat, no 1% milk, no half and half, no fat-free anything, no country crock, no fat-free cheese, no almond. Why does it say no almond? Oh, almond rice milk. No 2% milk, no low-fat anything, no cashew soy milk, and it's cashew/soy milk. No, can't believe it's not plant butter. Skim milk, whole milk, reduced fat anything. Fats and oils. The perfect oils are beef tallow, lard, goose fat, butter, ghee, bacon grease, sheep tallow, goat fat, duck fat, suet, and bison tallow. Pretty good. Coconut, avocado oil, palm oil, olive oil, and cocoa butter. Avoid all of these. All of these. Peanut, soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, sesame, margarine, peanut, plant butter, rice oil, flaxseed, vegetable oil, walnut, and many more. Okay. Here's some good drinks. Water, unsweet tea, seltzer water, bone broth, especially homemade. Diet soda, rarely. club soda, coffee, sugar-free, dry wines, rarely, unsweet herbal tea. Alcohol, I'll let you read about alcohol. Let's get to Angela's questions. So fruits. Okay, the fruits he recommends are avocado, olives, huckleberries raw, blackberries raw, blueberries raw, currants raw, raspberries raw, and strawberries raw. Those are in strict moderation. The fruits which will elevate your blood sugar the most are mandarin, orange, pomelo, grapefruit, calamansi, kaffir, lime, kumquat, apples, grapes, tangerines, raisins, melons, papaya, bananas, pineapple, and mango. I don't see cranberries in this list at all. I don't see. He does say, although fruit is natural, much of it contains too much natural sugar and will elevate your insulin level and cause unhealthy glycation. Remember that the reason our ancestors ate fruit in the fall was to gain weight for the winter. Since we are not trying to gain weight, here's a list. I'm going to find a video on the fruit. I know. And I think I have a bunch of keto recipes that use cranberry. I think I have a keto cranberry relish recipe. So I feel like cherries are a no-no. Cherries are bad. They're definitely not good. But I feel like cranberries are okay. Let me find a video on that may have more fruits in it. I know cherries are, especially the cherries they make now, I feel like are genetically modified. I think the cherries we used to have growing up were tart. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome. I feel like the cherries we had growing up were tart. Yeah. And the cherries they have now and the grapes and everything are all genetically modified and they have so much sugar in them. The only thing we ever eat are strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, and in moderation. And I feel like even when I eat those, if I eat too many of them, I start to gain weight. So I watch what I eat. The other thing is nuts and seeds. And nuts and seeds, I'd be careful on because they're great for snacks. And if you need a quick snack, grab a handful of nuts. But you got to be careful with those because you can overeat nuts and then you'll start to gain weight. Yeah, here's what he says. Some people will find that including nuts and seeds in their proper human diet causes stalls and or inflammation. Some people can't have nuts because they're allergic. I think you might be one person, Angela. But some people find that they cause inflammation and pain. But the ones that you can have in moderation are almonds, Brazil nuts, cashews, coconut, hazelnuts, macadamias, pecans, pili nuts, which they say are the best ones, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, walnuts, pistachios. And nut butters are really good and should be used in, are hyper palatable and should be used in strict moderation. Now, he says, since sugar, whether natural or added in all its forms, elevates your insulin. Yeah, sunflower seed girl. Oh, speaking of, that's a good... Oh, hold on. Here's our other timer. So let's check to see what this one's doing. But I'll come back to that, Angela, because I just bought Dennis this box of sunflower seeds. All right, it is bubbling over a little bit, but I think it needs to stay in here longer. I think it needs another like 10 minutes or so, which is actually about how long the first one says. So let me set another timer. Okay. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Okay, so let me show you what I got at Sam's Club since you brought that up. So I don't know, Angela, you have a Sam's Club membership. So I think for $9, and I think these are low carb. I don't eat them, but for $9 at Sam's Club, I think we got this whole thing. I don't 2 servings per container. So 2 servings of these has 5 grams of carbs. I mean, for me, that's a little high. The dentist works his, you know what, off at work every day. So he needs snacks. He just does. And he can probably have a few more carbs than I can because I sit at a desk all day. Dill pickle flavored, yummy. But he still has 3 packages left. So he needs something snacky to put in his, you know, truck. He drives truck, so he needs something snacky. But for $9, there were 12 of these packages, and he was going to the gas station to get them. They were way overcharging him. I'm like, I've seen these at Sam's Club. So I got him sunflower seeds at Sam's Club. So if you love your sunflower seeds, check for that at Sam's Club because that's a good deal. Okay. So for those just now joining us, we're making pizza lasagna. I eat if I'm starving to get me to lunch. Yep, I do not eat breakfast. Yep. So you're fasting. Yep. Okay. So we're also talking through, let's go back to sugars and sweeteners. So Dr. Berry says sugar, whether natural or added in all its forms. Okay, so people don't understand this sometimes. Some of the keto sweeteners will elevate your insulin, even though it's not real sugar, in some people. So keto sweeteners can stall your weight loss, like regular sugar. So if you're trying to burn fat, try to eliminate all sweeteners, even the keto ones. I know it's hard. So maybe use them to try to wean yourself off of regular sugar. And then try to then eliminate those sugars. And I really only eat keto sweets if we're like on a holiday or every once in a while, but I don't incorporate something sweet in my diet every day. But these include stevia liquid, stevia powder, erythritol, xylitol, which, careful with xylitol, I think that's the one that's dangerous to pets. Monk fruit extract, swerve, and allulose. I also stopped putting sweetener in my coffee, and I only drink black coffee now. Here's a good one. Many condiments, dressings such as ketchup, honey mustard, French, Thousand Islands, and ranch are filled with sugar, which will raise your blood sugar levels, vegetable oils, leading to inflammation. And I think I did, diarrhea. A lot of the sweeteners cause diarrhea. A lot of them do, which is another reason why. And it takes about 2 weeks to get the sweet taste out of your taste buds. And so if you're going to struggle for a couple weeks. Once you get it out, you're not going to have those cravings. So it's just best not to do it, honestly. And do it only as a treat, if you can. Some condiments are fine for you to eat in moderation. Mustard, vinegar, salt, basil, rosemary, garlic. Mayonnaise, and I've talked extensively about which mayonnaise to purchase. Salsa, sugar-free salsa, pepper, chives, thymes. Aioli, again, be careful of the ingredients. Béarnaise? I don't know what béarnaise is. What is béarnaise? Anybody know what béarnaise is? I'll have to look into that. Lemon juice. Only enough for flavor. Oh, I know this is not an intermittent fasting group. However, if you've tried keto and you've stalled, or you intermittent fasting broke me through a 2-year stall. I lost 60 pounds, and then I lost 80 pounds, and then I lost 110 pounds. Doing intermittent fasting and keto is like the ultimate. People are like, what's the secret to your success? Intermittent fasting is just like a powerhouse with keto. I mean, it cracks your something with your metabolism. And if you're interested in learning more, Dr. Jason Fung, there's different types of fast, and there are some fasts that incorporate broth, but typically no. It's just water, coffee, tea. There's some camps that say yes, but in my personal thinking, no. Broth has too many calories for fasting. But it depends on which camp you're in. This is probably, the first lasagna is probably almost done here soon. But if you're wanting to learn more about that, I suggest following Dr. Jason Fung. He is actually a nephrologist, a kidney specialist, and he puts a lot of his patients on intermittent fasting because a lot of people with kidney disease are diabetic patients and have damaged their kidneys that way, and so he cures their diabetes, treating it with intermittent fasting. So he has a lot of good information out there. I don't post a lot of his videos because he's more intermittent fasting than keto, and this is more of a keto group, but I watch his stuff for the intermittent fasting. And he is, he's got books out there, The Cancer Code. I've been following him for years. He is just, I've read several of his books. Let's see, what books has he written? Yeah, he's more about intermittent fasting than keto, but he says he recommends doing keto and intermittent fasting. But yeah, here's his books. Let's see. The Complete Guide to Fasting, The Cancer Code, The Diabetes Code, Life in the Fasting Lane, the PCOS plan for people with PCOS, The Obesity Code. I have that book. So he's written a ton of books. I think I have the Cancer Code too. The BCD Code Cookbook. He's written a cookbook. So yeah, he's awesome. They think my hormone preceptor medicine. Yeah, that for sure. Medicine is terrible. Don't get me started on pharmacology, and I hate to talk about that when we have people in our family that are, I mean, we need pharmacy and we need pharmacists, and pharmacy does, you know, there's a need for everything, but on the other hand, we're not taught to fix our bodies with food. We don't know how to. You have 4 more years, yeah. Well, and you're in a different situation because you have to take this medicine because of what the disease that you have. But for the majority of us, like me, they put me on 15 different medications. High blood pressure medication. They put me on pain medication for spinal and hip pain because of my obesity. Let's see, allergy and asthma medication. And they never de-prescribe you. They'll prescribe you all this medication, but they never check you to de-prescribe you. They just keep prescribing you medication. And then the side effects of this medication that you keep taking for 15 years, and okay, hold that thought, because you guys are going to get me on a tangent here about medications. And then, okay, I think this is done. This one is done. And then I got to take the foil off. Oh, hold on, I got so many timers going on. Alright, so the foil needs to come off of this one. This one needs to come out of the oven. Oh, and it's boiling over. Okay, let me get this one out of the oven. Carefully. Let me get the foil off this one. I'm sure the cheese is sticking to it, and it is. Okay, good. I didn't lose half my cheese. Oh, this looks so delicious. Okay. Let me put some hot pads. Hey, Tina. Let me put some hot pads down and bring this over here, because this looks amazing. I think I need more hot pads. But, and then when I went to my doctor, and I'm like, I need to get off this gabapentin. I don't even think I have pain anymore, because it's when I started losing weight, right? And she's like, no, you can't get off the gabapentin. Look, what do you mean I can't get off this medication? I don't have pain anymore. And the doctor would not de-prescribe me. So you know what happened was, oh man, this looks so amazing. I don't know if you can see this or not. I had to get myself off of the pain medication because my doctor wouldn't do it. And gabapentin is not something you can just stop. You have to wean yourself off of it. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Can you see this? This is the pizza lasagna. Can you guys all smell this? I'm gonna let this cool for a minute. So, we have an epidemic where, and Angela, you have to take your medication. I'm not gonna tell everybody what your situation is. Yeah, you need that too. And like I said, there's a purpose for everything, but I had back and hip pain. And then I had surgeries to correct that, and I also lost 110 pounds. So I didn't need the medication anymore. But you have neuropathy because of some other things that are going on. So, and I did need that medication for a while. Yeah, you get to have some, Dad. Don't worry. I'm gonna bring some of this over because this looks amazing. I'm gonna let it cool for a minute. I'm gonna try a bite. But I asked a doctor to help me get off of medication, and the doctor refused. And I told her that I was no longer in pain. So I don't know. I mean, and you know, now I still take allergy medicine, but since I've lost since I've fixed my diet, I've had asthma since childhood, right? I have an inhaler in here somewhere. I don't even know where it's at because I don't need it. Don't look at my junk drawer. I have a junk drawer in here. I don't even know where this inhaler is. It's in a junk drawer in here. I don't even know where the inhaler is. There's an inhaler in there somewhere. And, man, I have not had to use inhalers for months. Like, the only time I need to use an inhaler is if I accidentally eat something bad. It was the food in my whole entire life that was causing me to have asthma. And now that I've fixed my diet, I don't need, I mean, I still get prescriptions for it just in case something happens and I need a rescue inhaler. And I used to use probably 8 puffs every day. I don't even use it anymore. Now I take allergy medicine, but that's because I have cats and I'm allergic to cats. But I don't even need rescue inhalers, and I live with animals that I'm supposedly allergic to. Yes, this is pizza lasagna. I've got another one in the oven. Oh man, this smells so good. Is it cooled down yet? Okay, and just so you know, if you overfill this like I did, you may want to put it on a cookie sheet to put it in the oven, because this was boiling over a little bit, but because I put it on a cookie sheet, I didn't have a fire. Alright, so anyway, I was getting off on a little tangent. I'm not saying that everybody should go to their doctors and tell them I want to get off all my medication. I'm just telling you my story. That I didn't feel I needed some medications anymore, but we're living in a country where the answer to everything is, prescribe more medication. in some regards, that's, you know, the only way to fix it. But I feel like, oh, I gotta cut into this a little bit. I'm just gonna cut a little bite. And yes, Dad, I'm gonna bring you over just a little bite for you, Mom. Here in a minute. Okay, now this is very soupy, and I feel like because we put so many ingredients in it, especially vegetables, there's gonna be a little more water in this lasagna. It's still good. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this in. But this, usually when I make lasagna, I let it sit overnight in the fridge, and it's much easier to cut. So yeah, this one has a lot more liquid in it than the other lasagnas I made. I'm just gonna let that sit, but still good. So I feel like the more ingredients you put in, like, the more liquid it will have. And I probably wouldn't make this for holidays just because you don't know what toppings everybody likes. I'd probably make the regular lasagna, the basic lasagna. Just from that. But this I'd make for my husband and I because we know what we like and we can put what we like in it. Okay, that's still piping hot. Whew. Oh, the other one's still in there. Let's see. We'll check on that here in a minute. Yummy. Okay, so post in the comments. Do you think you'll make pizza lasagna? Do you just think you make regular lasagna? I feel like I gotta make the other lasagna for my sister now, the protein noodle Alfredo lasagna. So, yummy. I'm just looking at that recipe real quick. Okay, it's still piping hot, so I have a couple of bites. I've got green pepper in here. There's cheese. There's sausage. Very good. There's hamburger sauce. Very, very good. It is a little runnier because of the I think all the water from the ingredients. So I will say that, but it's very delicious. Definitely a winner. Definitely a winner. Awesome. So I will post the guidebook again so you guys can all see what's on there. And Angie, I'm going to look for the fruits video. See if cranberries is in there. I know. Let me look at my recipe book. I know I have some recipes with cranberries in it. Let's see, here's a recipe from Keto Dad with 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sweetener, and 12-ounce bag of cranberries. Of course, it doesn't have any carb content in it. Here's a keto cranberry cheesecake bar recipe. Let's see, keto cranberry sauce. Yeah. 1 cup cooked cranberry sauce. 2 cups fresh cranberries, about 6 ounces. It doesn't look like they have very many carbs in it. My tomato has pumpkin, carrots, cranberries. Yeah, you know what though? I put carrots in some of my recipes. Not very many. I put carrots in my beef stew. What else do I put carrots in? There's another recipe. I'll put a carrot in and I'll chop it up finely. Just as a treat. It's because they're so high in sugar. This is really good, but it's a little runny. And I think it's the liquid from the vegetables. But good. Very good. So I think the next live, I'm going to show you all how to make a keto ramen soup. So, I know ramen's all the rage. So I found a ramen recipe. It's a Maria Emmerich recipe, of course. And, yeah. And we're going to use the Miracle Noodles, Angela. But then Janine gave me an idea that we're going to try it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. To take the Egg Life wraps and cut them into strips. So I'm going to make one with the Miracle Noodles, but there's some people who don't like those. So we're going to make one with Egg Life wrap strips. And then we're going to see which one, you know, works. Or both. Maybe both of them work. So I think that's the next one we're doing. And then I think after that, I did Pizza Hut chicken, but I have not done my Southern fried chicken. And my Southern fried chicken is like we want fried chicken. My husband's favorite comfort food is fried chicken. And I have a recipe for Southern chicken, fried chicken, in the air fryer. You could probably do it in the oven too, but we have an air fryer, so it makes it easy. So I think I'm going to show you guys how to make fried chicken. Now mine has a little bit of a kick to it, or the one that I make, it's not my recipe. The one that I make has a little bit of a kick to it, so you could just omit the spices, but you know, maybe put some garlic in it instead. So I think that will be the next one after that. Awesome, guys. Well, it's been an hour. Any other questions? Sorry, I get off on a little bit of a tangent. I still have the other lasagna in there, but this is definitely good. This is almost like a pizza bake. So delicious. Yummy. And I'll probably have this for dinner one night this week and freeze the rest. This stuff freezes really well, by the way. I'll stick it in the fridge overnight, let it cool, and then freeze it. I'm going to take Mom and Dad a bite so they can at least taste it, and then freeze it because it freezes really well, and then when I just need a dinner, I just pull it out of the freezer. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you have any recipe ideas, please send them my way and I will find something. And I hope you guys all have a great week, and we will see you later. Take care. I'm going to end this now. Have a great night. Thank you.